Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Question 27. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. How did Abu Hurayrah stop forgetting and have an amazing memory? Well, the right answer actually is due to his clothes being blessed by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But if you put due to an accepted dua, that would also get you half a mark, because there is a hadith about that as well, but it's quite difficult for hadith to find. But if you did say that, you get half a mark. Right, let's read a bit about him. So he himself reports, Abu Hurayrah radiallahu anh, he says, Qultu, I said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, Inni asma'u minka hadithan. I hear from you hadith, your speech, kathiran. Ansahu, I hear a lot of speech, but I forget it. A lot of it is what I forget. So I hear it, and then I forget it. Remember, Abu Hurayrah was one of the people from Daws. So if that is Saudi Arabia, or the Arabian Peninsula, Oman, Dubai, coming back up as we know it today. So Medina is up there, roughly, and Daws is this kind of area over here, from southern the Arabian Peninsula, and Abu Hurayrah came from there to live in Medina. He moved so he could be close to the Prophet, and he was with him for a period of very close proximity, 3 years, and probably total duration 4 years. So he said, he'd hear the Prophet, and he's one of the most prolific narrators of hadith, and in the books of hadith he's number one. They say there are 5,374 narrations attributable to Abu Hurayrah. There are chains of narration to him. Of course, not all of these are sahih, but these are all contained in the major books of hadith, like Bukhari, Muslim, Imam Malik's Muwatta, Abu Dawud, Sunan Tirmidhi, An-Nisai, etc. All the major books of hadith. And the total number of hadith where he is the key narrator is 5,374. Some of those hadith are weak, some are even fabricated, and Sahih. And Sahih is probably around the 1,300 mark, though it depends on your definition of hadith. So that number is not 100% accurate. In second place, of course, is Abdullah bin Umar, then Anas bin Malik, and the mother of the believers, al-Mu'min, Aisha radiallahu anha. So these are all in the 5,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 category. So they're all very important hadith that are foundational in the deen. So what does the Prophet ﷺ tell him? So he's listening to all these hadith, he's probably seeing all these events occurring, and he's hearing the Prophet ﷺ call, and he's complaining to the Prophet ﷺ, I keep forgetting. So what does the Prophet ﷺ say? قال رسول الله أبسط رداءك فبسطته. Ubsut means rida is when nowadays they use it to mean any gown or anything covering the upper body. But if you think about an ihram, right, this upper cloth is the rida. Okay, so obviously very poor people at that time, and they would just wear simple clothing, and so the Prophet said, take your rida and basattuhu. Basata means to spread it out. So here's something spread out. So you make it flat, like that. Okay. So the Abu Hurayrah basattuhu, and then he says he saw the Prophet do something unusual. He says, فَغَرَفَ بِيَدِهِ. Gharafa literally means to scoop up. This person is scooping water in their hands, and that's gharafa, to scoop up water. It's as if some Prophet scooped up something. What he scooped up is not mentioned, and where he scooped it up from is not mentioned, but he scooped something and he put it into this thobe. So interesting word, gharafa. Gharafa is the same as what ightarafa, and ightarafa occurs in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. This is the story of Talut and Bani Israel. So he's taking his army and they are going to pass a river. And so it says, فَلَمَّا فَصَلَ طَالُوتُ بِالْجُنُودِ. When Talut left with his army, قَالَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مُبْتَلِيكُمْ. He told them, Allah is going to test you. بِنَهَرٍ. What's the test? With the river. فَمَنْ شَرِبَ مِنْهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. Whoever drinks from this river, because they are thirsty and they need to replenish their water, they're not from me. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَطْعَمْهُ. And whoever does not literally here the word ta'am means to drink, but it means to eat, but it means to drink here. فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي, but he gives an exception. إِلَّا مَنِ اغْتَرَفَ غُرْفَةً بِيَدِهِ, whoever takes a handful of water and drinks it, or a scoop of water with his two hands, that's the only people who follow. So he was testing them. So there's the word غَرَفَ. So the Prophet ﷺ, he does this. He says فَغَرَفَ بِيَدِهِ. And another word that's related to غَرَفَ, if you can look, there's a غَرَفَ, is مِغْرَفَ, and that's what they call a ladle, a kitchen utensil you use to scoop up water. So it looks like a scooped hand. Al-mighrafa. And then he puts it on the thobe, and then he tells Abu Hurayrah, ثُمَّ قَالَ ضُمَّهُ فَضَمَمْتُهُ. Dhumma, imagine here's a person, he's got the ihram, the top thing, the rida, and then he wraps it around himself. So now it's wrapped up. So that is to dhamma. So the Abu Hurayrah wrapped it around himself. And guess what happened? فَمَا نَسِيتُ شَيْئًا بَعْدَهُ. And I did not forget anything after that. So this is the amazing memory of Abu Hurayrah radiyallahu an. So his memory was once, I think in one of the historical books, it says that Abu Hurayrah was asked to recite a hadith, and the person behind the curtain wrote it down, and a year later he was told to recite it again. He recited it exactly. So there's a lot of people who dislike Abu Hurayrah, who wish to cast doubt about Islam, but he was one of the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah sent him towards the end of the Prophet's life, and he captured with this hadith and blessing of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for him all those hadith which are very important ingredients of the deen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.